All rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the regular city council meeting to order, 7 p.m. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Joes?
Here.
Alderman Amundson?
Here.
Alderman Greiner? Alderman Neuhaus?
Here.
Alderman Babb?
Here.
Alderman Newman?
Here. Also present, Clerk Steele, Public Works Superintendent Tim Smith, Police Chief Merritt, Deputy Clerk Vogel, Building Inspector Dearborn. I don't have anything. Clerk?
The only thing I have is that, after speaking with the insurance and with the attorney, he is going to produce a release of liability so that, Mr. Babb can help with some of the, I'm sorry, Mr. Neuhaus, with some of the, maybe Mr. Babb too. With some of the tree trimming and, pruning around the city.
Okay. Anything for the treasurer in his absence? Nope. Nothing for the city attorney. Mr. Inspector,
I have no report.
any communications?
I have time.
Excuse me. My apologies, I didn't account for the park traffic.
To all, thank you for all of your kindness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Somehow just thank you does not seem like enough, but I hope you all know how much your kindness has meant to me. I have no words to express how truly thankful and humbled I am by your thoughtfulness. I love working and making friends with so many in this city. The plaque, cake, and chance to heal is precious. Thank you. You all are truly wonderful, and the city is so lucky to have all of you and the employees who love Market Heights. Maria.
Any citizens wishing to address the council? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is this is my mom, Margo. She
You
lives
state your name and your address for the record.
Okay, we're gonna do this again. Here we go. I'm Denise Ogle. I reside at 826 Lasalle. This is my mom, Margo. She resides at 606 Lasalle. So I'll just be representing both of us here. Just wanted to say a couple of things about the work that was being done outside of 606 LaSalle that may or may kind of started up some controversies. She purchased a house in January of this year, was fully accepted by a state licensed inspector who called out the sidewalk. Obviously, if you don't know, she's completely blind, legally blind, doesn't matter how you do it, she can't see anything. Upon that, there was a tree there that we had taken up by Dale, who was the mayor, said, hey, like, this is a problem. Can we get it fixed? Didn't know there was a whole rigmarole. We got it fixed, and now here we are. We're gonna get the sidewalk fixed. In the route that we are traveling from 25 houses down, there are other sidewalk issues. We bring this up again because she is eligible for a seeing eye dog. They will come out and investigate her house, my house, because obviously she's gonna come to my house, the surroundings, the sidewalk, the city, everything that the city offers. So dollar store, municipal up here, because we have a working library, you can pay your bill up here. There's Newman's Lawn Service, there's other residual things here. They will be, by law, investigating and looking at handicap accessibility, sidewalk, and is a dog safe? Are they safe to travel? With that, they travel on the sidewalk, on the left side. So anything on that sidewalk that is deemed, they will mark. They will then also turn it into you guys saying, hey, we like this city, this is great, Margo's gonna get a dog, or Margo isn't gonna get a dog. We can't say that. Hopefully she is. This will be our third one. Don't see why she couldn't. But they will have requirements that need to be in order for the dog to be safe. The dog is, which you would probably know because you are the chief, right? In the same category as a canine dog. They are trained specifically to do one service, that is to be her eyes, her ears, and her senses. if in anything that they think that they can't do that, they will say, hey, we think if you could change X, Y, and Z, how would we go about that? That's where the state comes in. Handicap accessibility is her right, as long as everybody here. So we were trying to kind of just warn everybody, because you will see a lot of other people. You'll see some official people, you'll see non-official, you'll see people from California. They will be coming in and investigating the whole entire town. So it's kind of just a service, kind of let you know that the route that they're really going to be in is anything public, not including the park. I don't want to tell everybody. The park is great for walking. It's not really for the service dog. Asphalt is hotter than concrete. They were going to be like, Margot, in the summer you shouldn't be walking on it, it's too hot. Even if the dog has the ability to walk on there, they will not be wanting them to walk on it. They'll burn, even with boots on. So that shouldn't really be a problem. That's not really what they're going to go after. But they will look at driving there. Hey, that's great, but that won't really be in it. But we are still concerned about a couple of the sidewalks that are on these main drags, not just for my mom, but also the handicapped and the retired people that live here, and all the families that have small children, ride bikes, they do the strollers. So we're just kind of letting everybody know that we are seeing some things, not saying that we can afford to fix everything, but hoping that maybe with the city and the state and even the guide dog coming out, that maybe there's something available for like a disability type of situation where you can apply for different grants, federal, local, and we would be obviously happy to help or happy to spearhead that. We've done it before, we can do it again. But there is definitely concerns in these main routes that we know will be investigated multiple times by different agencies. So we're just kind of here to give some information. Obviously, if you have any questions about her blindness or whatever that entails, you can ask her. I'm not going to speak for her on that. I'm just speaking about that there is concerns, and that we do know by walking this main route that we are training on that they will also call out some issues. So just so you guys know, that will be coming down, and it will be addressed to the mayor also. So anything that comes investigated and anything that we would come to, we would also obviously come to the council too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other citizens wishing to address them? Yes.
Rick Crum, 401 Lincoln Road. I don't know that I need to be speaking because I see on the agenda you're going to be speaking about later in the meeting pertaining to the Pekin Park District mowing.
Yes.
My issue is it's not being mowed. So should I bring that, tell you what I think about it?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I think. We've been mowing that for well over 50 years. Well over 50 years. I've been here 47 years, and I worked here for 35 years, and it's always been mowed. It looks terrible. The deer are congregating there now. More and more of them, so that could cause traffic accidents. More deer right along the road, gonna get more deer out in the street and gonna get hit. We're a city of pride. Always have been. It's on your logo, it's on everything. I think we need to take more pride in Lasalle Boulevard. My friends, relatives come to town, they say, oh, it's so beautiful coming up Lasalle Boulevard. That's all I hear from them, but now it looks like a weed patch. I don't know that there's anything else I could say. I hope you guys just consider mowing it, start mowing it again. Please consider it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to address? Yes.
Jamie Lane, 107 Radisson. He pretty much summed up exactly what I was gonna say. As I look right there, I find it ironic that we have City of Pride. Whenever I did move away from Market Heights briefly, the one thing I always thought was, gosh, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to move back to Market Heights. Now it's almost an embarrassment. I had a bunch of people up at the park and they were like, what is going on? For my son's graduation party, it was embarrassing. They're like, they've always kept this cut. So, I mean, it's just, it's embarrassing to look at. It's an eyesore. It's a danger, like he mentioned. And then another thing that I'll mention is it's drawing more insects. It's becoming a breeding ground for it. I know that I have more insects around my house this year than I did last year. We got ate up over at the Ball Diamonds at the pavilion on Sunday. I don't know if it was due to the rain. And I was sitting at a friend's house dropping off her son right across the street on the hill. That's what she has to look at. I wouldn't wanna live there anymore. I'd wanna sell my house if that was what I had to look at. I got bit sitting in my car 5 times. So I agree with him. It's city of pride. There's nothing prideful about that.
Any other citizens wishing to address the council? No? Okay. Reports to standing committees, water and sewer.
I have not, no, you got Tim.
I'm gonna need help to get down into the lift station. We got one of our pumps that's leaking sewer.
Okay, you gonna pull somebody from streets?
No, I'll have to check and see who has their hepatitis.
Shouldn't everybody be up to date? I'm sorry, this may be I speak out of ignorance. Shouldn't everybody be up to date on vaccinations for working? Don't we have a line item for that in our budget?
If you're working with sewer, you have to have
Oh, okay, okay. I know we've had transitions, so thank you.
them. I've got mine, so.
Okay.
But, water, the compressor, water separator's fixed,
Okay.
operating good, so.
Good.
So far, everything is going good. And Ron, that was a garden hose, somebody that did
Oh,
that.
really?
Yes,
Oh, good.
yes, it
The water
is.
running down the street, it looked like it was bubbling out of the street, but garden hose.
Yeah, it's a garden hose.
Good. Right.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing more.
Law enforcement.
Well, I'll need an exec to discuss personnel.
Anything else?
That's it.
Fire.
We had our cleanup of the Independence Park Playground. I wasn't able to be there unfortunately, but heard it went well. It looks nice. Thank you to the city for providing the mulch. Thank you to Alderman Neuhaus for helping as well. Hopefully we don't have to continue doing it. So,
Thank you to you all for doing it. We appreciate you.
That's all I got. Okay. Streets.
The street department's been working on the work orders, cold patching, and trimming of the trees around town. The outside of the doors at Liberty Hall have been painted. Tim has a call out, but no word yet on a bid for the storm drain on Lincoln. The bridge work is coming along nicely. Still waiting on a call from the insurance company before moving forward with the Market Heights entrance sign. And I move that we reconsider our action regarding Ron Babb's outfall at 100 Beloit and ask to have the work outsourced and it be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Can you clarify that? What's the reason for outsourcing the?
More trees have fallen in it.
Okay.
It's eroding more. It's, I think, way
And we don't
beyond
have the equipment to,
our
Okay, it's
capability.
the first time hearing about the additional tree falls.
It's got worse, that's all.
Okay, that's all I've.
It's beyond our capability.
Do we have can we get a quote?
we can, yes. I can get on that.
So
I
that-
think we need to get a quote for the work, for the scope of work.
So the earliest it would be on the June 10th agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've lost another 8 foot of plastic tile that we just put in. It's collapsed off the end.
Fantastic.
Say what?
I gotta mow over,
Do what, Bob?
There's 8 foot of plastic pipe that has fallen off the end since we've put that in.
At his house?
Yes.
I was just down there a week ago and they're still
Want a
there.
picture?
Wow.
So could you get some information, Tim, and
Yep,
thank you.
we'll do that.
Anything else for streets?
No.
Clark Chemicals is coming tomorrow to calibrate mosquito sprayer and kitty sprayer tomorrow night.
Wonderful. Thank you. Parks and buildings. Anything, Tim?
I don't have any. Except, should I try to get a bid for the lights around the walking trail because those are obsolete.
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Kenny is gonna continue spraying
Yeah,
this
he's gonna
season,
spray tomorrow night,
and he's gonna spray every Wednesday.
Wednesday or
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Huh?
Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, thanks. Plan,
The, light on the east end of the pavilion is out.
Okay.
It has been for 2 weeks.
Well, I don't go up there at night.
Okay, I do. I reported it.
planning,
Everybody has an email from 306 residents. They wanna buy the 7 acres. It's on Lincoln.
We don't own that.
Yeah, we do. I called them. I called the county and they said we own it. Right down there by
you look on,
Lincoln and Rogers.
Oh, up the ditch.
Off the ditch.
yeah, I thought it was farther back
Yeah.
also.
It's right behind it, 306.
Can you, I'm sorry, can you show me on this map where that is? I'm having trouble visualizing.
It's right here.
Oh, it's that chunk, okay.
And their house is like,
No, they're not.
No,
They're
they're
up
up
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
On
They're
Lincoln.
up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, right here.
It's this lot plus this. They say it's 7 acres, I'm not sure it's 7 acres, but it's. Anyway, they want to know the process, how do we bid on it or buy it or.
How are they gonna access it?
Well,
It's
they're back-
directly
their
behind the
backyard butts up
property.
against it.
Next to Van Squeaks.
It's Van Squeaks, it's the outfall lot between Mac and Van Squeaks. And then
Yeah, there's
the next one, and then Daniel's property.
There's a storm sewer. Are they aware there's a storm sewer in there?
There's a 24-inch culvert goes through there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's washing out Mac's property.
yeah.
Yeah, we would probably have to have that land assessed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, do we want to sell it? That's, I guess, the question. It's got a culvert in there, you're saying?
Yeah, there's
That
a,
culvert comes right down,
the
right
storm sewer
behind.
comes from the north side of
Okay.
Lincoln
That's one
to
we
the
just
south
had.
side of Lincoln, right there beyond the maple tree,
But all the time here's over here, it's free.
Van Squeaks, and then
Yeah,
goes out.
this is Van Coyle's.
And that's about a
It comes right down through
22 foot deep storm sewer on that side.
Historically, I think that's why it's never been sold, because of the storm sewer easement that's
Yeah,
in there.
because of the easement. we
Yeah,
would have
And
to
it
have
goes,
there.
the easement goes all the way back to where it gets off that property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Lincoln all the way back?
All the way to Dirksen Park.
Yeah,
Okay. But,
I think that's-
I mean,
this is Newman's.
how,
right.
how much does that easement take?
This is the one.
Take
that
up.
I put the pool.
It's at least 10 foot wide.
Right there.
Is it,
From each side.
So this is where they live.
You have to look at the maps, but it's at least 10 foot.
But this is a storm sewer we fixed.
okay,
So,
so,
the question is, we can sell part of it. They're supposed to be here tonight, but they're not here, so.
I think I would make him aware of the easement
Yeah.
before we can decide if.
The
they're still
easement is on the
interested.
empty lot. That's why that lot's empty.
Right, but it's 7 acre lot, it doesn't take up the whole lot.
What's that?
It's a 7 acre lot.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, we're up on the street where that lot is.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That's, the easement
I'm
is
not-
on that.
I'm not too sure, he mentioned that, he said behind his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
So-
mention of the easement or
Yeah.
anything, or the culverts.
I
or
don't think he
anything
knew
like
it's there, but anyway, I can inform him of that.
And what's their intentions of owning the property?
That I can develop it, they're just nice to have.
that. They want it just says in the email, an extension of the property for personal use.
Okay.
Mhm. And they would like to know any existing plans or restrictions related to the land.
Right.
So this would be a
Restrictions would be the
restriction,
easement, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
so you wanna reach back
I'll
up
reach
to
back to him and tell him, go look at it.
It's gonna be an ATV park.
Yeah,
See
that's
how big it
exactly.
is. Do we have a plot of where that easement is? Do we have a picture of that anywhere?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll get that, show it to him,
okay,
go from there.
all right.
But are we interested in selling it? Not gonna go through all this if we're not.
Talk about a committee,
Huh?
talk about a
Oh,
committee.
okay, that's fair,
I would love to know what their intentions are.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long as it stays residential or?
no, if it turns into an ATV park, I'd like to know, because that's gonna disrupt a lot of homes.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
I didn't know that they'd be able to.
I shall
use
further
access to it
investigate.
to be his own
Sounds good.
personal.
Anything else?
Nope.
Nothing on old business? Anything on consent agenda we can be removed?
Number one, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Number one,
Yes, please.
anything else? If not,
Was it the same one? for you? Okay.
okay. Not, entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, minus item number one.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Bad,
Aye.
Alderman Newman,
Aye.
Alderman Amundson,
Aye.
Alderman Jose,
Aye.
Alderman Greiner,
Aye.
Alderman Neuhaus,
Aye.
motion passed.
Okay. Item number one that was removed from the consent agenda.
I'm gonna hold that over until next council meeting.
Are we, okay, thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, so no action on that. Okay. Moving on to new business. Alderman Bad.
The rec association lease, I think I mailed it out to everybody. I want two changes that the rec association wanted. Increase their field per day price to $50. And paragraph 10 is on the, it's the only two changes that,
What was the second one?
paragraph 10. Reach an opportunity to cure, is a, what do they call it? Clause.
The legal release clause to get out.
The release clause, yeah, that's what it is. A paragraph, I guess.
Okay.
It's the same one I copied from the minute. They agreed to it, so.
Okay.
So where is the portion that Alderman Newman sent out? Oh, is this just to approve theirs and not to include like our adjustments? Cause like Alderman Newman
This was
mentioned.
that's rec association.
This is the
Oh,
rec
thank you,
association.
sorry.
Wrong lease.
Wrong
I was gonna
lease.
say, I missed
Oh
that
my,
one.
place.
no, I'm sorry,
That's all right,
wrong,
legislation, okay. All
wrong lease.
right,
Yep.
so, any comments or any other issues?
Makes sense to me. Do we need to consider, so with it being a 7-year lease, we have the amount listed in here under, subsection B1.
We need to
Sorry,
get a
can we get a
motion.
second? Can we get a second?
Oh, I didn't realize that there was an actual
Sorry.
vote on it, I'm
He-
sorry.
no,
Did you make a
that's okay.
motion?
Bab did.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay, not your fault.
Do I hear a second?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now you can talk.
Which paragraph are you in?
I'm in B1, and it's all the way down at the bottom. We're talking about the city completing any of the responsibility. If we're looking at a 7-year lease, do we need to consider that hourly rate per employee at a higher rate? And I apologize, I meant to email about this, and I just lost track of time.
Number 4, is that where you're at?
I'm at
B.
B1,
Right here.
where it says that the rec association will reimburse the city monthly at
Oh.
an hourly rate of $38.26 per employee.
Okay. I see it.
Current with
That's right.
raises and.
With raises and everything
insurance
like that.
costs and all the
Okay.
increases.
Do we need to consider
Changing that and turning that into current rates, our current hourly rate, that would be.
We need an established step rate or something probably in there,
whether that's 3% or,
because it's gonna follow whatever raises we give plus.
plus the cost of labor and not just labor, but the equipment itself? I mean, I know they decided to outsource this year, but if next year it becomes that we end up being the cheaper option because we didn't update
Right.
in accordance with
I agree.
those,
I agree.
because we went from a 1-year lease to and we're looking at a 7-year lease. I just wanna make sure that we're
Yep,
not.
keeping up with it.
Right, we're not
Keep up
shortchanging
with the
ourselves.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I don't know if maybe we want to,
Wait, do it.
table, yeah, for tonight, the voting on it,
Yeah.
because we can't, to find out what that rate would be.
Are you wanting to rescind your?
Yeah, we should have a motion for now. Sure.
Okay.
My apologies,
And I'll
Ron.
second that.
Yeah.
I meant to contact you
Motion
about
is-
that this weekend.
Motion is rescinded. no action on it, so it'll go on to the
That's fine.
next.
So what do we wanna put in there?
That would be probably,
A committee?
I would consider a committee, let me take a look and see what our rates for
Okay.
income have been increased over the last few years, and then we can average that and put that into,
Plus insurance costs, plus.
rate. I would say it's gonna be at least a 3% increase annually, if not more.
Yeah, right.
To account for cost of
Gotcha.
everything.
Okay, we'll talk about a committee then.
Okay, sorry about that, Ron.
No problem.
Okay. Any citizens wishing to address the
I
council?
have something for new business.
Oh, okay.
Spoke with Attorney Herman, and this is where he told me to address it. So on March 25th, 2024, Alderman Griner requested to be removed from committee chair and asked that Alderman Neuhaus be placed in that position. Our city code 1-5-2 committee members, the city council hereby delegates the authority to appoint committee chairman and committee members to the mayor. These appointments should be made annually, beginning and ending with the fiscal year. These appointments shall be made with the advice and consent of the council and must be approved by majority vote. Our last committee assignment vote was made May 8th of 2023. I know since Alderman Neuhaus, myself, and Alderman Griner have asked about committee assignments. We've not had any. So my question to you, Mr. Mayor, is when are we gonna receive committee assignments and when are we gonna be voting on these?
Hopefully voting next month.
Okay.
We've heard that 3 months now.
Well, you're hearing it this month.
So currently, we are not abiding by our ordinance, but I just wanted to,
Well-
again, make that known.
Again, last time, 2 years into, or 1 year into the term, I was going to make appointments and this council threw a fit saying, no, we've always gone 2 years.
What?
And we could look up the minutes and do that if you want to. So,
So I'm just asking, that's what the ordinance says, and I'm questioning. So the next thing I have for new business, in the last meeting, Attorney Herman recommended the IML mediation communication service that they provide. I would like to see if we have a consensus of moving forward with that process. Is anybody opposed?
This was regarding the lack of communication.
Lack of communication, transparency amongst this council. Is anybody opposed?
Nope,
No, I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay.
you haven't heard from everybody on the council. Lisa, Dave?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
No, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
I have one that was brought to my attention today. It was brought to my attention that, in conversation between the, city librarian, Jenny Jackson, and the mayor, that the mayor shared with her that the city is no longer interested in being a tree city. And I would like to, I'm gonna pull up my notes here regarding what was stated, because I'd like some clarification on that, because I was shocked to have heard such a thing. That the city does not intend to continue their tree city status, because what she was told is that it's more trouble than it's worth, it doesn't bring any money to the city, and the paperwork is too long, and that somehow trimming trees and keeping the public space nice is outside of the regular work done by the street crew, which, having had the conversation with her, she was very concerned about that, because this is, again, a city of pride, and something that we've had the conversation about before. We talked last week about protecting the trees that we just planted from the locusts, and so now I'm just looking for clarification on where that came from, because that is out publicly on social media, that information, so.
I never said that the city did not want to be a tree city. We've been a tree city for 34 years, 38 years. And as long as we continue to meet the guidelines of, and the recommendations of the tree city, I imagine we'll continue being the tree city.
Have we set aside $5,000 for tree service, for tree maintenance? That is part of Tree City, is to have $2 per capita for tree maintenance. It's in the paperwork.
Let me pull up the budget.
Without looking at the budget.
It's my understanding, Bob, looking at the budget, that it is just under streets maintenance, that we don't have a specific line item, so that's something we may need to
Address?
or amend on the budget line, just so that we have because we're doing the work. They're cutting the limbs and doing the work. We just don't have it allocated as a specific line item. From what I've seen on the budget, I don't have it pulled up right in front of me, so. But
I think to my knowledge, I don't ever remember there being a line item for it, so it would be a good idea to have one.
Right.
Do you remember one, Rick?
No, we did not.
Yeah.
Can I make a recommendation? We need a tree board, and public citizens would be willing to work on that. I would be happy to be on it. You really need that first before you decide what you're doing and what you need to do. And if that comment was said about it doesn't make us any money, in my term as Public Works Director, we received well over $50,000 in grants. And they're still out there. All somebody has to do is look for them. So it made money for the city. So.
I think we have an ordinance for a tree board.
Yes, we do.
We do.
If I remember. So,
I would be happy to serve on that.
thank you. I think it'd be a good idea to bring the tree board back. And have to look and see what
Tree City USA is to have a board.
I gotta go.
to see what the qualifications, you know, how many members need to be on it.
4.
So what is your version of the conversation, Lieutenant?
I know I didn't say,
I didn't ask you that. I said, what is your version of it?
what is my version of it? I don't even remember the conversation.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
There we go again.
Yeah, okay.
The tree board is created by the city, so it needs to constitute Parks and Buildings Committee of the city. So typically, it is done by the Parks and Buildings Committee, the mayor and the Public Works Director, or street superintendent, whoever we have. And then there is a chairman, there is compensation, there's no compensation, and then there are general duties. But I do think that it would be wise to include members of the city as well, just like we do with our planning commission.
So your ordinance will probably have to be changed.
Yeah, to
Update
accommodate for
accommodate
that.
that, yes.
But we can take a look at that for committee so that it could go on the first June agenda. I think it would be very easy to look at amending that. And it's ordinance 271, Ricky. You're welcome.
Got emailed out there, but. Okay,
So those of us in the
anything else on new business?
Yeah, I've got
Scott?
something.
The,
I would just
Can
also
I
like to
move?
point out,
Fine.
Well, Heather.
I would just like to point out that the chair, we cannot have a tree board until we have a chair of Parks and Buildings. Because the chairperson of Parks and Buildings Committee is the chairperson of the city board.
Okay,
I would like to issue work orders for the street department or parks for tree repair or removal, and then pass that on down. All the council members will have a copy of the work orders.
No, you got it.
That's 6 of them. 16 work orders, all in one area. And that's 16 of possibly real close to 100 that are on city property, not counting parks. That trees need immediate attention. I offered my services, and the mayor told me I couldn't do it.
Wrong.
Are there any extra copies?
You went out and you started trimming trees before we got the official word from the insurance company. And you put the city at liability by doing that, Bob.
Doing it on my volunteer time.
It was told
At the
at
council
the
meeting.
council meeting
At
not
the
to do
council
anything.
meeting, I had clearance from this council to do that.
Once you got clearance from the insurance company.
Okay.
Because I was the one that brought up to make sure it was okay with the insurance company.
We'll see. And now you're aware of these 16 houses.
Yep.
So it lies on your shoulders if anybody gets hit out in the street.
Okay, anything else on new business?
Disagreement with the Pekin Park and the Mowing. So in this agreement, they're suggesting and offering the city $75 per cut for us to service that property. Does that $75 go both ways? Because there's roughly 20 cuts left in the year.
It says per week.
Yeah, it
Yes,
says per
there's
week.
roughly 20 cuts per year, so that's $1,500 to get through the rest of the season. Are they willing to service that property for $1,500? Because if that's the case, I say we make a motion to do this the other direction and let them mow it and pay the $1,500 out of streets.
Say that again?
If they think it's viable for the city to take care of this property for $75 per week.
Right.
For 20, there's approximately 20 weeks worth of mowing left in the season.
Okay.
So if they're willing to pay us $1,500.
Right.
To mow it for the rest of the season, are they willing to mow it for $1,500?
Go ahead, Tim.
They will only mow that section about 2 to 3 times in a year, but they are willing to pay for us to do it every single week. They will not come out as much as we mow it. They will only mow 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
So looking at what we potentially charge the rec association for, or what we offer to charge at the current rate of $38.26 an hour, times 4 hours of work is $153. So it's right around that $150. Part of the reason that this council decided to stop mowing that is because we do not have the available personnel to do it. We are short personnel, and we've been trying to hire in for that, and because of costs. So at $150, that would put us at current costs a week. My concern is that asking the city to cover 50% of those costs when it's 100% of Park District property is where I am struggling with that. And I know that we have done it for years, but unfortunately, we are not in the same spot we were in 30 years ago. This city is losing revenue consistently, and we have not been able to maintain employees in a way that would allow for us, for half the cost, to still cover the other half of that cost. I want to be fiscally responsible, and I want it to look beautiful because I grew up here, I grew up on Clark Court, I moved back home, ma'am, from Radisson Road, I moved back home because this is my city and I am prideful of this city. But there's only so much we can do with what we have, and that's where I'm at on it. And if they're willing, I do agree with Alderman Newman that if we need to go make the offer the opposite way, that's still less than what it would cost us. The $1,500 is half of what it would cost us out of our city budget to provide those services for the city of Pekin, or specifically for the Pekin Park District. It's not an answer I'm happy with, but it's where we're at.
Question.
I'm sorry, I can't see.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
What happened to the days back when you employed the high school students to mow it? They would do it far less than $38 an hour.
Insurance doesn't allow anybody under 18 to run anything with a motor.
Okay, 18-year-olds are gonna do it far less than $38 an hour.
By the time you pay the employment cost, labor rate, equipment cost, fuel cost, that's the $38 an hour was the operating cost to have an employee run that piece of equipment per hour.
And we have, last year, we struggled to even get one student to come work for us over the
I
summer.
didn't get any from the high school
Yeah,
job fair this year either, so.
yeah. So we reach out, just so you are aware, just so everybody here is aware, we do reach out to Pekin, East Peoria, and did we reach out to Bartonville again this year, Limestone?
No,
Okay.
we'll wait till Beacons
Okay,
in person.
So if we go back to them, they're only gonna cut it 2 or 3 times.
Yep, just like they do behind Pontiac, and all the residents behind Pontiac.
Did they say when they would come
Well,
in?
what if you considered mowing it every 2 weeks, which would still be much better than what is getting done now? That would cover the money you're talking about, Justin.
I'm not sure that,
10 to 12, 14 days is, sometimes it was being mowed when it didn't need to be mowed. I noticed that myself.
Fortunately, I don't know the mower we have is capable of doing that.
without being stressed on it.
Because that's how we burnt the last mower up.
You still have a flail mower?
This
No.
$40,000 investment.
You don't
It's not-
still have, we had 2 flail mowers.
As far as I know, it's not.
We have none now.
Yep.
Okay. You pull that behind the John Deere and mow it real easily. Doesn't look as good, but still it can be mowed, and you can mow it every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we haven't had a flail mower for 10 or 12 years.
We had one before I retired, and I've only been gone for 10
I
years.
had one when David was still here, and he's the one that got rid of it
Who?
after I started.
Steve?
David.
Jim? Yeah.
They got rid of it after I started, and I've been here 8 years.
We had 2 of them.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen one since I've been on the council.
Did you have something?
Was it, so, is that what the city people make up here, $38 an hour?
No.
No, that's what
Right.
it
I know,
costs.
I know, I'm just asking.
Okay.
That's labor and equipment cost
Gas.
Labor, equipment costs, that's total employment costs, insurance.
for mowing up for an hour.
So they roughly make what, $16, $17 an hour? So now
Only 19.
you're
Yeah.
doubling your equipment and
19.
gas costs. It's double, I mean, it's more than what the employee makes.
Well, you've got
Your insurance is almost how much
insurance.
they make an hour.
insurance and everything that you pay for the
But
employees.
is the insurance for everybody?
What do you mean is the insurance for everybody? It's offered to everybody. You can't pick and choose which
No,
employee you use.
full-time. It's for full-time
Correct,
employees, right?
correct.
You're gonna have work comp issues even with a part-time person.
Right.
That's gonna have to be covered in case something would happen.
Yeah, it's not just their health
And health
insurance, it's
insurance.
it's
Right,
the
it's the
liability
overall-
insurance for the city.
Operating.
I would, Tim, is it possible to ask a member of the Pekin Park District to come to the committee meeting next week? And ask them, you know, maybe it's time to open up that conversation. It's kind of enclosed back and forth between the two. And it might behoove us to have an open conversation about it, as opposed to working through contracts, put faces to names.
The last thing I wanna say is that maybe the talk should have happened first before you got, literally half the town was talking about it on Facebook.
We communicated to Pekin Park District
We did.
well before the season started.
But before you stopped the actual mowing.
No, before mowing even needed to happen. We
But what I'm
communicated.
saying is work with them out, I mean, at least they're willing to do something now, but until a resolution came to place, that we look like crap.
Yep.
I'm not gonna, I mean, I don't wanna sugarcoat it, I'm not trying to be mean.
So I do
It
have a
looks
question, I do
terrible.
have a question for you. Should we continue service down on 29 where IDOT's not taking care of where our green marker sign is? I can't see you, so I don't know how.
No,
to
you're
address
okay.
you.
Sorry,
Should
Justin.
we also continue service out where Groveland Township's not servicing out Zion Oaks Road? Where do we start and stop? I understand that most of our citizens assume this is our property, but that's not within even our city limits.
Right,
Because I've
and I
had
get that
many,
it's Pekin
I had
Park
many
District.
citizens that ask me, why do we not issue them an ordinance violation? It's not within our city limits. We can't.
And I get that, and I mean, down on the highway, I guess doesn't bother me as much, because to me, I view that, sadly, I view that as North Pekin down there. I don't look back at Groveland, I look at the main hill coming up. That's what people see whenever they come into the town. And that's just my thought.
Maybe another thought would be to mow farther. Not all the way like that big field at the bottom. mow 2 more swaths wider where it's farther back off the road.
Is the city boundary truly just that 10 feet off the road?
Yes.
We have right of way is all we have, that is city limits.
My other, not to throw another caveat at you, but I drive up that hill and all I see is fire load.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When that dries out this fall, it's gonna take one cigarette out a window.
Unless the deer eat all of it.
And now we're getting to the point that it's getting so tall, you're gonna have to bail that. You're not gonna be able to just leave it there.
You can't mow it.
No.
But Pekin could also bail it. Again, we need a representative from Pekin Park to come here.
And I didn't know, I thought that out there on Zion Oaks, I thought that was privately owned, cause they do bail that when they mow it.
Where at?
The towers.
At
The towers, yeah, but we're mowing into their property as well. We're not staying on our right of way. It's only 10 feet off the road as well. We're mowing well.
I'm just saying, when they have mowed that, they do go back and bail.
They bail it,
Right.
just like they do on the backside of Pontiac.
Right. Like they do in the pipeline as well.
But
Most visitors don't go on the backside of Pontiac or on Zion Oak though either.
No, but
Most visitors
same
come
number of
from-
residents live across from that not being mowed behind them that are on LaSalle coming up the hill across the street from them.
But similar to the end of Lincoln where that's mowed further back, maybe that's the answer on LaSalle. Mow it 3 more widths wide, make it wider, where it's mowed lower, where you can see deer out there close to the road.
Then like Chris mentioned, it's still also gonna be a potential fire hazard if the right person throws a cigarette out the window.
Yep. That's true.
What if, Mike Lawrence, 207 Decatur Road, what if everyone that had concern about it went to a Pekin Park District meeting and spoke to the landowners that own the land and not the city council that's, the land's not even in the corporate city limits of Market Heights? Just a logical idea.
It's all owned by the Park District.
And correct, Justin, it's not even corporate
It's
city of
not
Market
within our
Heights
corporate,
property.
it's not within our corporate city limits.
Okay. So we're gonna reach out to Pekin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we just plant a bunch of trees?
We can't do
We
that
can't
either.
because it's not.
They put that in their
It's
nature
more of a
reserve.
joke than anything.
Be nice.
Believe me, I asked that 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay, anything else on you? Any citizens wishing to address the council? Any other business pertaining to the city?
Do we need a motion to enter executive session, discuss personnel?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Clerk call the
I'm
roll.
causing chaos.
Alderman Amundson,
Aye.
Alderman Newman,
Aye.
Alderman Jost,
Aye.
Alderman Greiner,
Aye.
Alderman Neuhaus,
Aye.
Alderman Bad.
Aye.
Motion passed.